Yo, what's going on, everybody? This is Jerry the Boss here, back again, finally. So, I'm only going to address this now because y'all know I'm not a sentimental or anything like that. But I had an internship over the summer and I was working 40 hours a week on top of getting engaged to my lovely bride to be. And pretty excited about that. And I've been on the house hunt and I had an online class over the summer, so like I was just crazy busy, and I was just like, you know what, I'm not enjoying this trying to put a video out every day just to get 3 views on my Pokemon Crystal randomizer, even though that probably will get uploaded at some point. I was just like, I'm not feeling it, so I took off, especially for the job and stuff though, and so we're just gonna go with that right now. But I'm back with Wi-Fi Draft League actually, so I'm pretty hyped about that. It's the LET, the League of Extraordinary Trainers, which of course, you know, that's gotta include me, right? I think I'm the worst one here, but anyways, yeah, so I think it's gonna be pretty fun. I'm in the Rising Stars division, which is like the newer people to the league and the people with less experience, which is fine because I've never played a draft league on the Switch before. I've played some on 3DS, but that was a little different. The timer's a lot weirder, and so I think that's a good spot for us. But this is going to be my draft recap. I did make some transactions after the draft, but I'll address them when we get there. Okay, so let's begin. I don't really have any other intro. I don't have nicknames either yet. I'll come up with them on the fly, I guess. Okay, first mine, I was sitting there, right? And, oh, well, I guess I should go over the rules a little bit. Oh, my computer's lagging a bunch. I guess school's starting and stuff. I'm back at school, by the way. My internet should be better. Probably not at the start, but it should be eventually. And I'll probably try to stream some, so I'm pretty excited about that. But anyways, leave a like if you're excited about streaming. Leave a like anyway, and subscribe too if you're new. Anyways though, so we had a bunch of different tiers. We had S, A, B, C, D, E, and F. So you had to take one from A, B, C, D, E, and F. You could take an S if you wanted to, but you could only have one S. And then you could only have 2 Fs, and the F tier was like the NFEs, like tier 6, basically an ALF, if you remember that. I know I have a large ALF audience, so if you don't know what I'm talking about, just ignore it. And anyways though, so I was sitting there thinking about what I was going to draft, because like that's a lot of tiers to cover. And a lot of different points distribution too, because within A, B, C, and however much, there was like A+, and then A. You know, so you had like a bunch of different tier cutoff or point cutoffs to like take into account whenever you're planning. So you really had to know what tier everything was in. But I was looking and I was like, man, there's one mon I've never used, but I've always wanted to use it. And I was like, pick 8 out of 12. There's 2 Rising Stars division actually, but I'm in the Rapid Strike one. But yeah, so there was a mon in A tier. None of the S tiers really appealed to me for what I was wanting to do this draft. So I was like, man, if I could just get this mon at pick 8, because I actually wasn't sure if it would come to me. I thought it was the best A tier mon personally, but I'll probably find some way to make it trash. But anyways, but it did. It fell to me. So let's just look. Necrozma. So, Necrozma, oh, also, ShadowStitch, I just thought of this because I'm not looking at it right now, but ShadowStitch made the thumbnail for this video, and that was legendary. He made one for every team in the league. I'm going to use it as a thumbnail. Other people used it for other things, but since he only pasted the big picture at the end, that's what I'm going to use as the thumbnail. He actually used the template for his entire draft analysis. It's pretty cool. Go check him out. Okay, anyway, back to Necrozma. Necrozma is balling out. Prison Armor is busted. This Pokemon receives 3 force damage from super effective attacks. Okay, so that's basically just asking for a weakness policy, right? Because as we all, big brain players know, his weakness policy is best item. So whenever you have a weakness policy, if you get hit by super effective damage, you get +2 in attack and special attack. Now, normally that's kind of dangerous because you're going to have to take a super effective hit. Well, whenever you have prison armor and it reduces that damage, it's a lot easier. Coupled with the fact that Necrozma gets things like stored power, autotomize, I think it gets rock polish too, dragon dance, stored power. Like, I already said stored power, holy crap, I'm losing my mind. I've sat through 3 online lectures today, forgive me. But it just gets crazy coverage. Knockoff, I love knockoff users. Iron defense, I didn't even know it got that, but there it is. Expanding force would be cooler in doubles, but it's cool here, I guess. There's rock polish. Stealth rock, I don't want it, that'll come up later in the draft, but stealth rock's important. Trick room if I'm feeling it. Swords dance, thunder wave. Photon geyser's busted. I forgot to mention that when I scrolled by it. Photon geyser, it's like, I can't even describe it. It's like Psy Strike, but it can attack whichever, or it can use the whichever attack you want it to, basically. I actually still don't even know exactly what it does. I'm not sure if it always attacks on a special and just uses your physical stat, or if it like attacks the physical defense. I don't know. I guess I'll figure it out as I go. Let's see. I don't see anything just too interesting on here. And prison's cool in doubles, but this is not doubles, of course. But yeah, what I'm trying to get at is it's like a really versatile mon. Let's look at its stats. See, it has base 97 HP, 107 attack, 101 defense, and 127 in special attack. And 89 in SPDF is not anything to scoff at when you're looking at something with prison armor and such a good HP stat. Not everything has that good of an HP stat, So those are some things that are real desirable and sought after, and I'm really glad that we were able to pick up this mon. Base 79 speed leaves a little to be desired, but I mean, what do you expect when you have these other stats? My plan though going into this was to build around Necrozma as best I could. I had this idea of getting Veil, and I didn't know if it would happen because I felt like Veil, especially if you're getting Alolan Ninetales Veil, it's a really good speed tier to hit, and it's just one of the easiest ways to set up Veil, and it's just a good method to use. Oh, also I had a slight heart attack whenever the pick before me came because it was Mew, and I was like, oh crap. I almost had a crisis and was like sad that Mew went, but then I was like, nah, I really wanted Necrozma. And a lot of people would argue that Mew is better, and I get that, like it learns every move, but I just think Prism Armor is so much better, and its stats are a little better to me. It's better in the right spots, if you get what I'm saying. So, anyways, I was going to get Veil and Crocodile, Noivern, and like I had like my first 6 planned out. Well, we wheeled back after the picks, things are going, and I got it. Alolan Ninetales was there. I've never used this thing that I can remember. I might have in a league that kind of fizzled out or something really early. But this is just it may not be a mon that I'm very good at, especially in like something like this, because I feel like in Wi-Fi leagues I tend to be more on the bulky offense side, or I'll like build to where hazards can wear down my opponent and just position myself expertly. That's how I was in the 3DS leagues I was in though. Also, I'm standing and I forgot my mouse, so there's probably a lot of random noises you're hearing in the background, but I apologize. Okay. Alolan Ninetales though, main reason it's here is Veil. That's going to help protect Necrozma from hits it just doesn't want to take. Like there are some mons it just doesn't want to take hits from, like if I'm an Iron Defense set but I'm facing a Urshifu Rapid Strike, because Lord knows I'm not taking one from a single strike. But if I'm facing the Rapid Strike one, because they are allowed, I don't want to get crit through my Iron Defenses. But I think, actually now that I say that, I think Veil gets ignored too with crits. But if it doesn't, at least it sounds good. But it has a lot of the good standard moves you think of. Really, all you need on this thing to me is just like Blizzard, Veil, Moonblast, and then fill in the blank. Let's see if it has anything that's cool down here. Sheer Cold could be cool. Sock Up could be cool. I also have built for my week 1, and I'm not sure when I'm going to upload this. I'm trying not to reveal any sets. But yeah, so it's got a lot of cool stuff. A lot of stuff that I didn't even realize it learned. It may not have learned it until this gen, but I haven't played as many drafts in Gen 8 as you all know. But it's got okay stats. They're not the best, and I'm really unsure of how this is going to go. Like, I really wanted to just try out new things in this draft, because typically I'll have like really bulky dragon types, fairy type, and steel type. Like that trio is super bulky, and like if anything's not bulky, it's the dragon. But it'd usually be like a Latios or something like that when they're allowed. You know, if it's not going to be, they're just super bulky, and I don't know why, but they have just such good defensive synergy that I always look for that. But I also haven't ever won a league, so you know, maybe I'm looking for the wrong things. But we'll just move on with that. I am facing a Kyurem Black, or Kyurem, just a regular Kyurem, week 1, so that's loving that, and we'll get more into that when I get into the transactions. But yeah, this one is hopefully going to go crazy and help us with some of our other mines that we got and want to get at this point, because you don't know what I have. But yeah, so anyways, that speed stat though is like perfect for Galar decks. This is Galar decks. This is not Nat deck, so it's well, obviously because it's in game. But yeah, so just keep that in the back of your mind. Next though, I was looking at Crocodile like really hard. I really wanted Crocodile. I don't know why. It really doesn't have like it didn't get any of the new moves that I really thought it did, besides close combat, and I guess I thought that was cool. But I was just really loving Crocodile. But it fit a good speed tier, I guess, and it had Intimidate and Stealth Rocks, which are really important. Maybe I'll try to make a trade for that later down the road. I don't know, but we missed out on it, and that's okay. I mean, that's draft league. What do you expect? So instead, I was looking around for dark types, and I was like, do I want something more offensive to replace it, or something like, I don't know, Mandibuzz or something like that? So I narrowed it down to like Mandibuzz and Obstagoon, and the one I got, which is Incineroar. So I haven't used Incineroar in a long time. I think I did use it once, but it's got crazy coverage. Like coverage, it really shouldn't have. Like I guess Gen 7 actually kind of had crazy move pools, just like Gen 1 did now, honestly. But it gets acrobatics for some reason, close combat, darkest lariat, endeavor for whatever reason. That's cool. Oh crap, I don't know what that was. Flame charge is cool. Knockoff is good. Nasty plot if I want to go crazy. Scorching Sands now, which is like ground type Scald if you didn't know. Parting Shot, I forgot that one. I don't normally look down there, but anyway, just all kinds of crazy coverage. Intimidate's really nice in draft, just in general. So I was glad I was able to get a dark type with Intimidate. Just, I don't know why, honestly, I couldn't tell you, but I really wanted that dark type with Intimidate. It's got really good stats too, especially for a starter. Sometimes I get left to the wayside, but it's got 95 HP, 115 attack, 90 defense, 80 special attack, and 90 special defense, and it's kind of got the same treatment as Necrozma, where the speed is what's left to be desired, but that's okay. We'll try to make up for it in other ways, but yeah, I don't really have a lot to say about Incineroar. If you've ever played any kind of Pokemon competitively, you've probably heard of Incineroar and knows what it does, and it's a really cool mon. But yeah, so next I had to move forward with not having Crocodile, and I won't lie, as I proceeded through the draft, I forgot. I really started like letting hazards and hazard removal just kind of go. I didn't really think too much about it, I guess. Even though my plan was to make it so that Necrozma was not like roll compressed into a stealth rocker every week. And I think I handled it okay, but it wasn't ideal by any means. But we'll get to that as we go. In the next mon, though, I wanted to get a good speed tier and something with defog, so I got Noivern. Continuing the trend of not very bulky Fairy Dragon Steel core, and it gets scarier as we go, honestly. But Noivern's been one of my favorites for a long time. I don't know why, but it's just like at a really good. It's at a weird speed tier, but it's good enough. I actually think I'll have to watch out for the Zeraora matchup though, because I think it's still outspeeds and maybe Dragon Ball too. But other than that, like, we're good to go. And okay. I'm so sorry. I got an email from an advisor that I actually really needed to respond to. But I don't ever edit my videos, so we're going to speed through this. So, Noivern is really good with the specs. I've even ran it Scarf before just to catch people off guard. Frisk is really good in draft to like get information out there, especially, I'll probably have to start writing stuff down. Actually, that's a good idea, to write stuff down, since I'll be on Wi-Fi and I won't be on Showdown where I can just hover over. Telepathy is worthless. It's even nearly worthless in doubles just because of the main telepathy you would take is like Earthquake. But either way, Infiltrator is good too. Yeah, it does go through an Aurora Veil and Reflecting Light Screen. So I've got an Infiltrator mon off the board that it can be used against me. Hurricane's busted. Draco Meteor's busted. It's got defog, like I mentioned. It has Roost and Moonlight, so it can be bulky. It's normally going to be running boots. It's got Super Fang, which is cool. Ooh, Whirlwind. I didn't know it got Whirlwind. That's pretty cool. But yeah, stats are pretty mediocre except for speed, but the special attack is just passable enough, you know what I mean? Let's see. Next mon, I really wanted to get that ground top to make up for Crocodile. I really was wanting Crocodile. Like it kind of deteriorated my draft altogether, just not getting Crocodile. Like I didn't realize it at the time, but looking back on it, it pretty much like torqued my draft on its head if you are with that. But I decided to get Rhydon. I probably reached on this one round 5. I definitely reached on the next one, I think. But Rhydon, the only reason I went with Rhydon over Rhyperior was Rhydon is a little bulkier, which I appreciate in a ground top, and we all know how much I love my Rhyperior. But Rhydon is just gonna have to do the job this time because it was in the E tier, which is the lowest tier of like what you would normally see in draft. So I was like, man, that's kind of a steal. And Rhyperior is kind of a steal too, to be in the tier right above it. But that 20 extra points would go a long way to making like a very healthy and not top heavy team. And that's the one thing I always worry about with my drafts, is being top heavy. And so I was trying to save me some points here. But Rhydon's pretty much always going to be running the EV a lot unless I'm going crazy. Its abilities are pretty much useless. Yeah, I don't really know what you would use Rockhead or Reckless with. And you're definitely not using Lightning Rod for anything like you have to have. Because like you're immune to electric, but you can just throw it on there if you want to. It's kind of one of those deals that it's like, do you want the extra attack or what? But it's got some crazy coverage because Gen 1. I guess it does get double edge. I was looking for something like that. Stealth Rock is the main thing, and this is kind of why I let my rockers go by the wayside, because I feel like every time I bring Rhydon, it'll probably have rocks on it anyway, so it doesn't really matter. It's got a crazy attack and defense stat, but these special stats and speeds kind of left some things to be desired, but that's okay. Well, next mon, okay. You won't believe this, but I picked Shelmet round 6. My boy Pragmatic, Ethan, you know, the guy who I did the Wi-Fi battle with. If you have kept up with the channel, or if you're an ALF, you know him. He was like, man, this is the truth right here. So I was like, okay, you're on drugs. But I started looking, and with Eviolite and Shell Armor, you can actually take on the Urshifus, which was enough for me to be sold on it. It gets spikes and T-spikes, which is pretty much all you need. Oh my gosh, this is crazy. It actually has good moves. It gets Acid Armor and, oh crap, I thought I got Acid Spray. That would have been nice. No, I guess not. Freak. That would have been nice. Gastro Acid is cool. Infestation would be cool paired with my ability to switch, I guess. I don't know. Struggle Bug and Skitter Smack do the same thing, but if I want the less accurate, more powerful one, I guess. Yeah, I mean, it's not doing anything with its stats, but it does the job for, this was my F tier pick. I guess I forgot to mention that. We had Necrozma in A, Ninetales in B, Incineroar also in B, Noivern in C, Rhydon in E, and Shelmet in F. Shelmet in F I thought was a steal. Honestly, I really did think it was going to be an E. Not even before Prag showed me that it was the truth, just because everybody likes to meme with it and pick it, I guess. I don't know. Anyways, so that's the first 6. Let's see. What did I pick next? I know my mines, but I just can't remember what order I picked them in. I think the next one I picked was Girder. Now, Girder, I ended up dropping because people were pointing out to me how I didn't really have that, like, that shotgun power punch, you know, kind of deal. That kind of mine. And also, my team was super weak to knockoff, being reliant on Eviolite and just being weak to dark in general. So we ended up dropping Girder for Licky Licky. So we're going to talk about Licky Licky first. Let's see. Save. Does that work? Yeah. Licky Licky, I only used it for like the 2 weeks I was in CDL, but it was amazing for me. It's really a thick boy, and it gets knockoff. I love knockoff spam. And a Wish Passer in Wi-Fi leagues, especially with a kind of a thicker team like I have. Wish is really important to me. But this also ties into some of my regrets on my transactions, but we'll get into that in a minute. Yeah, okay. So it gets cool moves. Self-destruct will be nice. Terrain Pulse, whoa. Gets Whirlpool. Whirlpool will be cool with like a Toxic set or something. But I think it'll be really important. I guess I kind of strayed off my point here. So to reiterate what all these mons are doing and how they're going to help Necrozma, Veil swallows dark types and ghost types and psychic types, really. So it counters all the Necrozma checks, gets rocks off, and pivoting as well here. Rhydon is like roll decompression with rocks and just bulky. Shelmet is don't lose to Urshifus. Licky Licky is like special thick boy. Well, I normally run it special, I don't know why, but. And then Wish and Healbell. Healbell is super important too with Necrozma, because I feel like one of the only ways I can ever beat it is Toxic, so I'm going to have to avoid Toxic a lot, I'm afraid, this season, but I still think it'll be good. My next mon, Tangrowth. So, Tangrowth is not anything crazy on its own, but I was needing a grass type, and I was feeling a little ground weak. I may not have been, but I don't want to be stuck bringing Shelmet every week, so I thought Tangrowth would be a nice pick here. I had enough points for it, and I was kind of surprised it was still here, but Tangrowth is the kind of pick that I regret and think I should have either picked up more hazard removal or more hazards, but we'll get there. We'll get there, I promise. So, Tangrowth. I don't even know what to say about Tangrowth. It's got Regenerator, which is one of the best abilities ever. I can't believe that's hasn't been nerfed yet. I'm sure it will eventually. But it gets really good coverage on both sides. I know I was talking about Gen 1 mons, but like this came out in Gen 4, and I'm pretty sure it got more coverage than Tangle does, I don't know. by like a lot. Like Grassy Glide, really? And it gets Infestation, all the powder moves. Let's see, Worry Seed could be cool. I don't have any use for it right off the top of my head, but block, things like that. Like it's a very annoying mind, but that's fine. It fits a role on my team, and it gets Leech Seed, Sleep Powder, typical stuff you'd see on the ladder. So I think this is going to be a good pivotal mind for things like, well, Crocodile. I actually faced Crocodile week 1, and other bulky grounds and waters that I didn't really have anything else that I would want to switch in on. Like I wouldn't want to switch in on like Primarina or something like that with all my other mines. I would rather have Tangrowth over like Licky being my dedicated water switch in or something. So anyways, next mine, where we at? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, I have 3 more. Next one was Miltank. However, I dropped it for Surfetched. Okay, so here, I spelled that wrong, but about here's where I'm having regrets. So Miltank had Thick Fat, and I didn't do calcs because there's no point. It's not my mind. But I thought Miltank would do better against Kyurem than Licky would. But I could be wrong. I haven't calced anything because it feels like everything dies to Draco Meteor. And my opponent could just as easily run Flash Cannon or like, heck, I figured 2 Ice Beams nearly KOs Ninetales from Specs of Kyurem. But Kyurem and Volcarona, mines like that are kind of where my regret come in. And I lost a Stealth Rocker and didn't really gain anything in return besides really just like 135 special attack. That's really it. And so it was kind of crazy that this is like what I gave up. I mean, Miltank is not typically a mon I would just give up, but I haven't used Surfetch in a full draft league. I've used it in a tier 3 draft, so I'm pretty excited to see what it does for me. I know a lot of people have had a lot of success with it and they swear by it, but I just need to test it for myself. It gets a knockoff again, which is nice, and it doesn't have like a ton of coverage, but it has the coverage that gets the job done. It's got Poison Jab for the fairies. You don't really need anything for the ghost, but it gets it anyway. Knock off, Leaf Blade for whatever reason. First Impression makes it relevant. Make the speed tier less relevant, I guess would be a better way to say it. And it gets Grassy Glide. Like, what the freak? Why does it get Grassy? Why does everything get Grassy Glide on my team, it seems like? But yeah, it's really only here just for this right here. But I think it'll do good. So that's all that really matters about Surfetched, I don't know. I'll probably change those. But I wanted a fighting type, just to bop dark types. Because Ninetales special attack sometimes gets exposed against more bulky dark types. Okay, let's see. Next mon, Jelly Belly, Jellicent. Okay, I love Jellicent. It's so thick, like 100 base HP, 70 base defense, but it really doesn't feel like 70 base defense. I always feel like it takes physical hits really well. And it's got 105 special defense. That's pretty good. It's got some really good abilities. Damp, I feel like Damp could be used in the right place, but it's not going to be used a lot. But Water Absorb and Cursed Body are super good, but Cursed Body's kind of gimmicky. So I would expect Water Absorb probably more often than not when I bring it. Let's get Magic Coat. Holy crap. Who knew Jellicent would be the best Stealth Rocker? It got a big boost though this gen whenever it got Strength Sap, because it got Recover the whole time, but Strength Sap is just like a superior recovery move because it lowers your opponent's attack stat. So it's superior for like bulky mons, you know what I mean? So I'm really digging that. It's got speed control and Icy in the Trick Room. I really needed a water type because like I feel like if you don't have a water type at all, like, you're really going to be hurting. And I prefer a bulky water type for reasons mentioned above. Or by above, I mean earlier. Yeah, so I guess I'm wearing out. I feel like I'm getting tired and not giving the mons their due as much. But I feel like when you get to the end of the draft, that's kind of how it's supposed to be, because the crap, the lower tier mons are not supposed to have as big a spotlight on them as the first few picks, you know. So Alolan Sandslash was always going to be my last pick. Not only does it give me a steel type that's not very bulky, it is bulky on the physical side, I have to give it that, but the special side is not bulky at all. But it's going to be my Slush Rush user. I feel like it has a really good place, and I feel like in the right moment it can be used as a bulky mon. It gets knockoff again. It has Stealth Rock and Spikes and Rapid Spin, so like, and Super Fang, so like it has some of the tools to be a bulky mon, but I'm just not familiar with using it that way. It gets Metal Burst, so like it really could be a bulky mon, but I just don't use it that way. But I really think, oh, it gets Veil too, look at that. I really think that this is going to be like one of those mons that I just test, you know, like I was talking about that earlier. I was wanting to try some newer things to me, and I haven't used Jellicent in a long time. I don't know if I've ever drafted Tangrowth. I'm pretty certain I've never drafted Veil or Hail at all. I haven't drafted Necrozma. It's been a while for Incineroar. Rhydon is baby Rhyperior, so I gotta see which one's superior. Ha, made a joke. But yeah, so I'm pretty excited about it. I think it's going to go good for us. Leave a like and comment down below who your favorite member of the... Oh, I forgot to add my logo in the bottom. It'll be alright. Leave a comment and tell me who your favorite Harrisburg Hitmonlee is, and we'll see y'all in the battle sometime. I'm thinking I'm going to start uploading them on like Monday and do them the week after they happen. So like this will go up August 23rd or 24th, something like that. And then the battles due the 23rd. Yeah, so the battles due the 23rd, but I'm going to have mine a week behind, so the draft analysis is going to come out the 24th. Okay, but yeah. Thank you everybody for watching. Peace.